I'd like to call the December 19th, 2024 regular council meeting to order. Mayor-elect Marone, can you lead us in the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Kane, she'll be absent this evening. Clark.
Here.
DeRose.
Here.
Light.
Here.
Marone.
Here.
Parker. Here. Laratunda.
Here. This is to advise that certain advance notice has been given to the date, time, location, and the extent known of the agenda of this meeting in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act. And a notice of this meeting has been posted prominently at the bulletin board on the municipal complex lobby, on the city website, and communicated through the newspapers designated by the governing body. This is to further advise this meeting is being recorded electronically and can be viewed on the city's website at abseconnj.org. Consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be discussed separately. Number 155, authorizing the release of escrow funds posted by Purdy Inc. for property known as 110 Miami Avenue, Block 209, Lot 1. Number 156, approving the insertion of a special item of revenue into the 2024 municipal budget to allow for the receipt of $2,379.41 for the State Body Armor Fund. Number 157, authorizing the insertion of a special item of revenue into the 2024 municipal budget to allow for the receipt of $275,028 from the State of New Jersey Department of Transportation. Number 158, approving the insertion of a special item of revenue into the 2024 municipal budget to allow for the receipt of $578,000 from the State of New Jersey Department of Transportation. Number 159, authorizing Remington and Vernick, city engineers, to administer the engineering services for the estate drainage study. Number 160, authorizing Remington and Vernick, city engineers, to administer the engineering services for the reconstruction of Delaware Avenue, fiscal year 2025 NJDOT Municipal Aid Program. Number 161, authorizing Remington and Vernick, the city engineers, to administer the engineering services for the City Hall ADA accessible ramp. Number 162, authorizing Remington and Vernick, city engineers, to administer the engineering services for the municipal infrastructure assessment. Number 163, authorizing Remington and Vernick, city engineers, to administer the engineering services for the sewer infrastructure mapping updates. And number 164, authorizing the transfer of appropriations in the 2024 municipal budget for NJSA 40A 4-58. Do I hear a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, would anyone from the public wish to speak regarding agenda items? Seeing none, do I hear a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll change mine to a second, Carrie.
I put you second.
Okay.
I put Steve first.
To a nay, I haven't voted nay on it.
Regarding a lot of the engineering updates, our engineer will be here momentarily. He's running late from his last meeting, so if you do have some questions regarding the engineering reports that are going to be taking place, he can answer this once he arrives. Do I hear a motion to move the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Clark.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes.
Light.
Yes.
Marone.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Laratunda.
Yes. Approval of bill list, $1,689,106.93. Mayor, motion to accept the bill list.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Clark.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes.
Light.
Yes.
Marone.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Laratunda.
Yes. Approval of meeting minutes, the regular meeting minutes of November 7th, 2024. Mayor, motion to accept the minutes.
Motion. Second.
Roll call?
Clark.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes.
Light.
Yes.
Marone.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Laratunda.
Abstain. At this time, I'd like to ask our council members to provide a report from their council committees. We'll start with Councilwoman Parker for Community Affairs.
We have not met since our last meeting, and we will not meet again until February. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Councilman DeRose for Public Safety.
Likewise. And Councilman Clark, would you like to give the rest of the update?
Sure.
So, quick update on public safety. I had the privilege, with the help of the chief and the captain, Lieutenant Hink, everybody got me involved. I did a ride along with Sergeant Kraus yesterday through the city of Absecon. I got a firsthand look at what our police officers are dealing with and what they're experiencing and what they're actually doing out there. I think it was an eye-opening experience for us from council. I urge my fellow council members, if they get a chance, to maybe put some time in and see what these guys do. There's a lot more involved than what we see day to day. I think everybody knows public safety has been a priority of our council up here now, and we're doing our best to get these guys in the best positions to stay safe, to keep our communities safe, and help us keep our families safe. And I think I could not be more proud of the guys I was with, the team I was with, the Absecon Police Department. I mean, these guys put their lives on the line every single day. Every traffic stop is unique. I got to experience probably 7 to 10 of them, and everyone makes your heart race a little bit because you're not used to it. These guys, they care. I mean, they care about you. They care about me. They care about everybody in this room. I mean, they really do care, and they put their lives out there. And every single call, you don't know how it's going to go. And I got to see it firsthand. And until you see it firsthand, you don't really understand it. But the temperature to gauge some of these calls, they start out like it's going to be really easy, and it escalates pretty quickly. Whether it be a small little domestic, whether it be a traffic ticket, whether it be just pulled over for a seatbelt. It's a really good experience. I urge everybody to do it. These guys are really doing everything and anything we ask them to do. I can't be more proud of every single one of them. I appreciate everything that they do. It was an eye opener, right? We wrote tickets. We went down 30. It could be a small call, as small as a burglar alarm going off. We show up, and I mean, it's not my forte, so my heart's racing a little bit when I get there, right? So it's different to me. These guys are calm, they're cool, they're collected, they're professional. They stop, say hi to people. It was awesome. We have some work to do on our end with some of these projects in town that we need to work on a little bit better to help keep Absecon safer on our end. A few things we can do that I learned, and it was refreshing to be with these guys. So I really appreciate Sergeant Krause's time. I know he's not here, but he took time out of his day to come in and take me around and tour me, as well as Sergeant Levin. Officer Cavalier was with me. The new hire, Matt Munn, was there, and Officer Messina. I think am I missing anyone, Chief? I don't want to miss anybody.
I don't think you are.
Gleason?
Sergeant Gleason.
Sergeant. Okay. Okay. All right, that's all
Chief,
I got.
you got anything to add as well?
Yeah, we appreciate Councilman Clark coming out and taking the time. I want to remind everybody, we had a great Santa in the Park again. We want to thank the fire department for coming out and us collectively working with that. We're going to be doing the Toys for Kids, our own Toys for Kids. We just completed the county where we went out and the shop with a cop. And lastly, we've had an uptick in some crime, and I want to thank the residents for reaching out to us rather quickly. It's been able to help us foil and solve some of the crime that's been going on. So to see something, say something, the people are starting to react to. Lastly, it's the holiday season, so I urge everyone to travel lightly. What I mean by that is you don't need to bring all your personal belongings when you're going shopping or in a store. Please be cognizant of your children and your belongings when loading up the vehicles after shopping, whether it's at ShopRite or at the mall. Try to prevent yourself from being a victim. Try to park in well-lit areas. And if you see something that you think is suspicious, please reach out to us. We would gladly ride through or meet you to make sure that your experience is a positive one. On behalf of the Absecon Police Department, I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
That concludes public safety.
I as well would like to thank the fire department for hosting Santa in the Park. It's always a awesome time and night in the park, and I'd also want to thank them for escorting Santa around town Friday and Saturday night. It brings a lot of joy to our residents, so we appreciate them taking the time to do that. Councilman Marone?
Public Works has not met, so there's really no Public Works update. I do want to say what an honor it was to be the chair of Public Works this year. It's a great group of guys. Lloyd is just top notch, does great work. We got a retired guy here up for his half of the year before he retired. Great work. It was really, really fun working with these guys, and that was a good year. The other point I want to make for my last council update here, the whole reason we do all of this is just exactly what Alex and Nick just said. It's the feeling of community. It's the love of this town. It is our excellent police department, the fire department, and events like that. It's like when our engineers show up 15 minutes late. That's always fun. But we really love this town, and we're always here for you guys. And I want to thank everybody. It's been fun sitting up here for the last couple of years. I'll see you on the other side of the dais. And we'll go from there. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mayor Marone. Councilman Clark?
Finance, we don't have a meeting this month. Starting next month, we'll be getting ready for budget season, so it'll be a little bit busy for us. So next meeting in January.
Councilman Light?
Thank you, Mr. President. Most of all, I want to say a special thank you to all of our city employees, how hard they've worked, how hard you've worked all these years. I know everybody, including myself, we all appreciate it. A lot of times it goes unspoken, so thank you very much for your dedication, all your hard work. It's truly appreciated, not only from me. I've only been here since 1988, so I'm sort of kind of new here in town. But everyone, including all of our council, appreciate everything and all the hard work that everybody does. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councilman Light. I as well would like to wish all of our employees, our residents, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We did have plaques prepared for Mayor Horton and Councilwoman Kane. Unfortunately, they're not here this evening, but we do want to thank them for their service, and we'll be sure to get them those plaques for their years of service for Absecon. So thank you, everyone. Jessica, could you provide our administrator and CFO report?
I will, although my report is really not for either of those, but I would like to let the residents of Absecon know that this will be my last council meeting. I'm retiring at the end of the month after almost 25 years as CFO and purchasing agent and 10 and a half as city administrator. I'm also proud to have been a member of the planning board for the past 4 years. I have dedicated a substantial portion of my life to Absecon and put forth every effort to perform my job responsibilities in the most professional, efficient, and cost-effective manner possible in order to provide the best services to the city. It has truly been my pleasure to serve the residents and to keep the day-to-day operations and financial health of the city as my highest priority. I've enjoyed working with numerous governing body members over the years, being part of many amazing teams as we work through city issues, strategic planning, and emergency preparations such as COVID. I will miss the outstanding city staff and Public Works Department, public safety staff, and volunteers, as well as many excellent professionals, colleagues, and vendors. While it is a bittersweet decision to leave my position, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my family and exploring other interests. And after 34 years of municipal service, reevaluating my priorities, I am excited to move on to the next chapter of my life. So wishing all of you a happy holiday and a happy new year and best in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. We wish you the best, and we appreciate all your hard work and dedication to the residents for this long.
And
Thank
you are going Monday, right?
Huh?
Monday, you'll be there?
Yes, I'll be
Okay,
there.
good. All right, just making sure.
Tuesday will be my last day.
All right, just making sure Monday.
Yeah.
Ed, if you could provide an update for our engineers report. I know we had a few items on the consent agenda. If you wanted to briefly touch on those.
Yeah, congratulations to Jessica.
Thank you.
Seems like things are moving along briskly, so I'll be brief.
Here's all your stuff.
Sure. So just as far as updates, and then I'll touch on the items on the agenda. Pretty much all of our active construction projects are complete for the year, which is great. I think we had a couple really impactful projects this year with Crestview Avenue and the streetscape on New Jersey Avenue, which looks great, I think. We do have a couple projects coming up. First thing in the spring, our 24 road program, which is under contract. I think the Meadowview Avenue project was on the agenda tonight for award. We had that was at the last meeting. We had our pre-construction meeting.
I had the pre-construction this afternoon.
Right, so that'll be also a spring project. And then there were some items on the agenda. These are some engineering items that we kind of put on the list and in the budget, and we kind of check in at the end of the year to see if the budget is there for us to do them, and it was. So We did recently receive a grant for our 2025 state aid, which was for the reconstruction of Delaware Avenue from Huron Avenue to New Road. So that will be the first component of our 2025 road program. So we'll get that into the engineering phase, which is good news. And then we had a couple engineering studies. One is for the estate's drainage, which we've kind of made some incremental improvements on Highland Boulevard, but there's a bigger picture there that we need to study to see if some of the old metal pipes that are in the ground need to be replaced, upsized, whatever it may be. So that will lead us in our planning efforts, our capital planning efforts in that area of town. The infrastructure assessment, I think, will be an excellent tool that will complement the road inventory that we did almost 15 years ago now. We talked about a new technology we'll be using for our road inventory, and then once we kind of get that rolling, I think it'll be really cool. Maybe want to show something at a meeting for the public to see. I think it's a really cool way to inventory our roads and kind of keep real-time data on the condition of our pavement. And that will also include an assessment and inventory of our drainage infrastructure, our sanitary sewer, our coastal facilities such as our bulkheads and our outfalls. We'll take a look at street lighting throughout the city, for potential opportunities to work with Atlantic City Electric to improve street lighting. And that's it on that study. So I think that'll also help us. All of these are kind of geared towards capital planning, and they also give us a lot of good information to apply for grants. We'll have good cost estimates. We'll have the type of information that grant agencies typically look for. And then just a couple others, we're going to update our maps, our sanitary sewer and drainage maps, which are very outdated. And so we'll bring those kind of into the modern age. And then we do have some funding in our CDBG block grant program for an accessible ramp behind City Hall. And so we're going to get started on the engineering for that with the potential opportunity to expand that project next year if we were to secure some additional funding, or if there were the opportunity to maybe put some money in the capital budget to maybe expand upon that project. So a lot of good stuff that I think will give us a good kickstart and momentum going into 2025 after what I think was a good 2024 from capital projects and an engineering standpoint. So that's my report. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, thank you.
President.
Yes.
Ed, a couple things, if I could. And council, if we could actually, the ADA access ramp here, if we could just take in consideration before we go ahead and actually modify that or whatever, do we take that in consideration moving forward? If we can make any improvements before we design that ADA so we can improve the steps in the rear. The other one is there's a lot of painted crosswalks throughout our town that pedestrians cross that are all faded out. But although we want to be conscious of our pedestrian safety, and then I probably need a little bit of help from you, Ed, and the chief and the staff, is if we can reach out to Atlantic Electric, although that's my side of the tracks, as I like to call it. So there's the lighting on both sides of on South Shore Road where the train bridge are. There's the lighting leading up to it and the lighting after it have been out for some time. So I've actually triggered Atlantic Electric, and it's been out for quite some time. So for public safety, as both of those lanes kind of butt up, then they kind of taper into one. It's kind of it's a safety issue. So before we run into any problems, the two lights coming in, street lights coming in off of Shore Road, off of Route 30, they're out. So that kind of, as everything tapers in, it's dark. And then on the other side of Ohio Avenue, that's been out for probably like a year and a half. So I've triggered them, but
Two things to that. One, on a lighter note, I'd like to make a motion that on the agenda, Steve Light's questions to the engineer are automatically included every time. Two, I had a very good, Steve, I'm glad you brought that up because I meant to bring it up and I forgot. I had a really good conversation with the leadership at Atlantic City Electric. They assured me that every single light should be fixed in under 30 days from when it was reported, and if it's reported correctly, it should trigger that they come out. So get with me afterwards, because they said that if there's any more outstanding than 30 days, they will come out ASAP and fix them for us. So if it's been more than 30 days, if you can send me what you put into the computer system, and we'll get them out here ASAP.
some of them are, there's really not a mechanism to re-trigger it. So something that's a year out or 2 years out, a year and a half out, you can't re-trigger it at all. It locks it in. So you can't even reinitiate or question the initial, request.
Because I will say there was a controversial one on social media that triggered me reaching out to Atlantic City Electric, and it was not in fact reported. So they sent an email to Atlantic City Electric, and Atlantic City Electric told them you need to go through this program, and if you go through the program, it gets added. So the person was waiting 6 months for the light to get fixed, but in reality, Atlantic City Electric didn't know about it. So that was the process we were going through. So let's get together after the meeting, and we'll make sure they take care of them.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So I would just add one note on, Steve mentioned the striping. The technology we're gonna use to scan the roadways is basically an image recognition technology. That technology will also identify signs that are faded, signs that are leaning, signs that are missing, and it'll inventory, it'll show up on a map. You'll be able to click on it, it'll show you a picture of it. So it's a really powerful tool, that we can work with our Public Works Department, our public safety officials. So it's pretty cool stuff, once we get it rolling.
And on a funny note is I don't know where the tear in my carpet is when I walk in my house, but you guys would if you walked in and saw it. Sometimes a different pair of eyes on something is something that we all bring to the table.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thanks, Steve.
appreciate it.
And just to touch on striping, I know Pitney Road, I've been working with the county, regarding some of the improvements there. They are planning to restripe some of the sections that are very faded. I know Mrs. Mazzone's here, and we were dealing with, they removed some signs because they felt as though some clutter, there was a lot of street signs there that they thought impeded on safety, so they removed some, but some of them were liked by some of the residents, so I'm working with them to get some of them reinstalled, so the residents have them, so it's kind of a work in progress, but we'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
That is all. Madam Clerk?
These are the monthly reports for November. For the municipal court is $6,088.89. The construction office was $7,142. The clerk's office was $812, and the tax office was $4,276,416.24.
Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, would anyone from the public wish to speak?
Lieutenant Hank, I thought you were getting up to speak the way you sat up.
Being none, do I hear a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Nay.
You want to stay?